Day 61. Good evening, my friends, and welcome to the next episode of Blueprince. Last time out, we girl bossed too close to the sun. We were going for our dead-end run and we got totally locked out. Okay, this week, we're setting dead-end runs to the side. Now, let's have a look at our notes. Yeah, we got dead-ended with security doors last time. We got 16 rooms, 16 dead ends previously, right? And we did work out the room 46 doesn't count. So we have got a new dead end strategy, right? Where we're going to try and put dead ends. If we can get 4 dead ends into rank 9, then getting dead ends seems eminently doable, right? That actually seems pretty doable. And in fact, if I'd been really sitting down and thinking, that's probably always going to have been a better strategy than getting the 1 dead end out of room 46. Okay, however, we don't have 50 stars anymore, which means we don't get the re-rolls. I think when we get a run, I think we need to build up our stars a little bit, right? And when we go for that dead-end run, we need to absolutely commit to it, right? We need to find the observatory early, and we need to absolutely go in with a frame of mind of, we might come out of this run with 0 stars, but we'll be conservative in the first half, but if it's looking like we're on target to be hitting our goal, then those final rooms at the top, we need to be just absolutely using every single star we have to get those dead ends, I think. I'm not sure how achievable a dead end run is if you don't have 50 stars, because I think those re-rolls are going to be really necessary. Otherwise, you're going to be just burning a lot of runs trying to do something which is quite hard to do, actually. Okay, so what are we going to do this week? Well, I think we're going to continue our investigations on the limits of the blessing of the monk. Okay, so as a reminder, we do still have blessing of the monk for 3 more days. If we call it a day, in a room in your house, you have the opportunity to draft that room from the grounds the next day. I think I made a little bit of a mistake yesterday in choosing laboratory as our outdoor room, because yes, that's going to be useful for today's run, set up an experiment nice and early, although to be honest, sometimes the experiments, you don't necessarily know what will make a good experiment right at the start of the day, like digging for trash is no good if you never find a shovel, for example. Unlocking a chest is kind of limits you to only 3, but is kind of a lot more achievable. What we should have done is we should have gone and put entrance hall outside, right? So, we've done secret garden, we've done tunnel, we're about to have done laboratory, we have done room 46. We never put garage outside, but I don't think garage is going to do anything. I think the 3 to check, antechamber, foundation, entrance hall. So today, in this run, we're going to try and get to the antechamber. And we're going to try and take the antechamber outside. If we get locked out, if we get dead-ended, and we can't get to the antechamber, we'll do entrance hall instead. The one that I'm least keen to do is foundation, to be honest, because if we do move foundation, there's no guarantee we'll be able to put foundation back where it was before. So foundation in the outside room might do something. It might do something really interesting. It might take us into a different part of the basement or something. I doubt it, right? That I'm 2%. I have 2% confidence that foundation will do something interesting if we take it outside, right? What it almost certainly will do is remove foundation from the house, and then we're going to have a real problem getting foundation back into a sensible location. And where we have foundation, in this building right here is probably the ideal spot. Now that's of course on the assumption that foundation turns up in random spots. Like I'm pretty sure foundation is randomly drafted, right? Because the way it was phrased is like, this room does not reset every day, kind of makes it sound like you can put foundation in various different locations. Obviously, because of the way the elevator's activated, it could only be in the middle of the house, right? But like that's a really good spot for it. And it took many, many days before we drafted foundation. Foundation must be like a super rare pick, because we only got it on like day 10 or day 12 or something like that. So it can't be very common. So I'm a little bit nervous about moving it. So it's going to be the last one that we do, right? I would rather do antechamber first, and I'd rather try entrance hall just to rule that out, because ruling out entrance hall is very kind of ephemeral. It's very low effort, right? So we'll do that. The other thing I need to say before we start. I saw a spoiler accidentally. Well, it wasn't a spoiler, it was a hint. It was an unintentional hint. Now, I'll preface it by saying the person that left the comment in the correct possible way, because they literally did say in the comment, here's a hint for you, here's a hint for you if you want it. And I scanned it too quick, and my brain suddenly realized what I'd just seen. You know how it works, where it's kind of like, oh, don't read the next sentence, but your eyes have already read the next sentence, and you're like, oh, no. Okay. And it's fine. No shade on the commenter. The commenter was, the commenter fully said, oh no, like here's a hint or a spoiler or whatnot. In general, like the Discord is keeping me honest in terms of what hints I'm seeing, let's say. But okay, so what was the hint? Well, it was about a new clue. And it was about the spaces in a new clue. Okay, and it was to do with. Was it this line here? He's checked every space. That was it. And if we zoom in, we can indeed see there are numbers in these spaces. Right. Okay. So that is why the comment section has been insisting for weeks that I haven't seen everything in a new clue. Can we see this well enough? That we do not need to go and see a new clue again? Like, maybe? Like, I think that's a B. So we'll see if we can, is it a B12? That looks like a 1. 5. Ooh, that one's hard to see. Maybe 16. That's definitely a 15. That's a 5. That looks like a 2G. Or a 29, maybe. A 6. Are all of these digits? Are all of these numbers? There's a 10. That one is a 2. 11 and 7. So that B might actually be an 8. Might be an 8. If all of these are actually numbers, could be an 8 instead. Does that turn into... Does that turn into a code we can read on the railway lines? Or is it related to the castle clue here? I think what we're going to need to do, because we're not going to have super duper confidence on all of these numbers, we might actually need to take the magnifying glass to this book again at some point. But yeah, like if I was to do 8, 12, 1, 8, 12, 1 would say Royal Station or India Station, Oris Train Hall. Well, that doesn't really say anything, right? Ah, 8 isn't actually on this map. Oh no, it is. Eight, 12, 1. 8, 12, 1. Does it make a shape? 5, 16. 8, 12, 1. 5, 16. Nah, it doesn't look like it's going to be mapping a shape out. Could also be rearrange the words. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All. He, and corner, and every, low had rooms in the, and that's the end. That's the last one. I don't know if there's any other spaces that need looking at, but yeah, I think we're probably going to need to take the magnifying glass to that to make sure that we actually have it correct. Okay. But look, let's not worry about it. Let's not worry about it. Let's not worry about it. What are we looking at? We've got 6. We've got 6. Bullseye Trophy is 9 days away. 9 days away. We're going to get those blue tents. These bird tables, man. Yeah, oh, I'm looking. I'm watching you. Oh, interesting. We can re-shrine? Like, I don't think there's any need to be honest, because we've already got Blessing of the Monk. All we would do is just reset Blessing of the Monk, wouldn't we? Let's take Laboratory so that we can get an experiment up and running. Right. Gain 1 key, add a small chest, or gain 1 key, gem, or die. We'll probably do each time you find some trash while digging. Add a small chest to the entrance hall. That would require a lot of backtracking. Come on, each time you find some trash, gain a key, gem, or die, and it just makes the draft easier. Go on. Is there anything different? Is there anything different in this room, having brought it outside? It really doesn't look like it. Oh, it was the periodic table that was flashing up. No. I think we're probably good to go. Okay. I mean, it's a little bit of a whiff of an experiment, I suppose. Like, obviously, I'm a bigger fan of updating our allowance, or obviously if we had gain stars, I'd take gain stars. So today's draft is more of a traditional draft, right? We're trying to make it to the antechamber. That's our goal for today. Pantry, dining room, nook. Let's take dining room to get us out to the corner. And here we've got quest, bedroom, nook, coat check. We could take an early quest bedroom, but I think I'll take 2 keys from nook. And then this can dead end very safely, but let's ensure that we get pool hall done. Okay, so grab my packed lunch. Let's get out to the Conra. I mean, observatory will put us back up to 50 stars, but like, we're not going to get any other benefit today from the observatory because we will only have 50 stars. I'm pretty sure we're on 49 stars. I don't think there's any way to check whilst you have this up. On the other hand, I think we could do some redraws. Yes, we have library, but currently we've asked for drafting strats 5 because there's something that we want to take the magnifying glass to there as well. Kitchen, boudoir, quest bedroom. I don't hate taking boudoir, but no, let's redraw. Oh, that's a shame. Maybe parlour, but nah, let's redraw again. Walk-in closet, storeroom. Nah, let's take commissary. Commissary guarantees us a pretty good start because we're going to have the magnifying glass. Lovely. Shovel and go on. Give me all your gems. Right. There we go. One thing I certainly noticed when we were doing Banner of the King, or whatever it was called, Banner of the King was way stronger than I gave it credit for, given its description. Because being able to take shop rooms, when your allowance is this high, being able to take shop rooms and just be like, yeah, I'm just going to like smash out commissary, showroom, whatever, like it pretty much guarantees you a good run. Yeah. Let's draft it up from here. Well, the only item we have... Oh, no, I don't want to lose these items. Nah. West Wing Hall. Yeah. Yeah, we'll take West Wing Hall. Is there any advantage to drafting from the Pool Hall side versus the West Wing Hall side? I'm assuming not. Ha 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 ha, secret passage. That's funny. Right, all of these effectively dead end us, so we might as well take quest bedroom for the steps and the eventual token. Assuming that we do indeed reach the antechamber. Pool hall is now a dead end, so we're going to come in here and we're going to grab whatever's in here. Okay, 20 and 6 and 10 is 36. Divide that by 3 is 12. 21 once you flip it, multiply it. No, minus 2 is 19. That's 13, flip it is 31, 32, flip it is 23, minus 20 becomes 3. This is 6 and 8 is 14. We're going to then multiply that by 2 is 28, flip it is 82, minus 1 is 81, times 1 is 81, flip it is 18. And we get a silver key for our trouble. And 1 day closer to the pool hall trophy. Now I do have to be a little bit careful because we only have 2 branches open at the moment. We do not have a... I think I'd rather put hallway like somewhere nicer. Like functionally these two are pretty identical though. Yeah. I want to... Yeah, no, let's do hallway because I have the key to open the trunk. So we will spend the key rather than waiting for a sledgehammer. That's useful. That ensures that we can at least get back up via the foundation. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. We don't need parlor. We'll take observatory mostly because it gets us the star. But yeah, we're kind of not really planning on redrafting. I'd rather keep the star. Okay, we do want a nice dead end here. Library's not bad now that we have the magnifying glass. Shall we go and get those? I mean, library's very common though. Library's totally common. Might be better to take a dead end out of the floor plan or reroll. Oh, walk-in closet. Or we take planetarium because planetarium's got the dig spots and that gives us some random stuff. Nah, walk-in closet probably better. We tend not to find sledgehammers in walk-in closet. Walk-in closet tends to have like a key, a bit of food, like a coin purse. Like walk-in closet is very diegetic. We never find a shovel or a watering can in walk-in closet. It's always like, yeah, keys, gems, a lucky rabbit's foot, a coin purse, a coupon book. Would I rather have planetarium? I'm certainly not going to call it a day in planetarium, but if we find the telescope we can upgrade it, and we do have dig spots in there from the last time we upgraded it. And the dig spots, if we find trash, will give us something random. I don't know. Man, that's kind of tough. I'll take planetarium. It's got... Oh, do we only get 1 dig spot? Fine. What do we get? A gem, is it? Ah, that's a bit sad. So this is the first time we've ever drawn the upgraded the upgraded observatory. So okay, we get a dig spot out of observatory. I thought it would be better than that. I thought we would get like a few spots to dig with. Man, we got 1. Right, we do have the security card though, so we can always come back via the foundation. So we're not panicking yet. We're not panicking yet. It's all good, team. It's all good. Courtyard is perfect for us. That's exactly the kind of thing we want to see. Grab a couple of those. Is there a sledgehammer anywhere? There we go. There's a dice. It's not going to take many more of those before we unlock all doors as well. Do we want to keep going up the side? Aquarium, den, pantry. I think pantry would be better. Save the T-shaped rooms for where their exits can be used. Let's have something that curves that way now. Okay. Yeah, we'll take parlour. And then here we want something which goes straight through. I think music room's going to be better than garage there, right? One major key, one minor key is probably better than 3 standard keys. Secret garden key is absolutely the kind of thing we're trying to find when we want to be getting to the... This is definitely a clue for something, isn't it? Denoted in verse. Denoted. Hang on. We've definitely done these music sheets puzzles. That doesn't sound... It was first among the white trees. Originally, it was find among the white trees under 2 stones. This has changed. Oh no, it's first words on the sheets are true message. Yeah, okay. I was suddenly like, wait a minute, are there 2 sets of clues? No. Well, maybe there are. Why is that one on, but those 2 are off? Huh? Here's the thing. This game is full of so much just like random stuff. And not all of it is a puzzle at all. Some of it is just like random design choices. I'm absolutely certain. Like, why is that chair a different colour to all the others, right? Why have we got 3 chairs that are different colours? Why are they arranged in a 6-5-5 formation, but they're like weirdly offset? Like, I mean, that might actually be a puzzle. But like, I don't know. There's, you know, why is there a hole in the wall here? Okay, we are pretty at risk of dead-ending ourselves in the lower half of this house here. Oh, yes. We have a puzzle to solve. Go on then. Can we keep the 100% streak alive? It becomes less important nowadays, now that we've got the trophy, and less important now that we've got like 11 gems up here. There is only one true statement. The gems are in a box with a false statement. There are 2 true statements. So this is the only one that references where the gems actually are. So, the gems are in a box with a false statement. If true, would strongly imply that there can only be one box that has a false statement. If false, would strongly imply that they can only be that there can only be one box with a true statement, right? But either way, it means that it can't be in the white box, right? Because the gems are in a box with a false statement. If that's true, they're not in the white box. If it's false, they're not in the white box, right? So, there is only one true statement. If the gems were in here, that would mean The gems are in a box with a false statement. If true, this would need to be false, right? Meaning that, that could either be true or false, right? Because if it was true, there are two true statements, and if it's false, there's one true statement because that's false. So it's kind of like tautologically that could either be true or false, like it becomes a meaningless statement, right? The gems are in a box with a false statement. If false, the gems must be in a box with a true statement. For the gems to be in here, right, there can only be one true statement. Well, that could be true, right? In which case that would need to be, that would have to then be false. So it would be false, false, true, and the gems could be in the blue box. Okay, the gems are in a box with a false statement. If true, and the gems are in the black box, this would need to be false. Meaning that that would have to be true, which would then make this true. Right? Because there would be like false. No, sorry, if that's true, and they're in here, this has to be false, which means this has to be false, and there can't be one true and two true statements at the same time. Wait, no, sorry. I'm confusing myself there. I'm confusing myself. The gems are in a like, I'm starting to get convinced it's in the blue box, but yeah. The gems are in a box with a false statement. If that's true, we have one true box. If they are in the black box, this box must be false, right? And for that one to be false, this one must be false, because if this is true, then we have two true statements, right? But then it's then ambiguous which box it could be in. If the gems are in the black box and this is false, that means this has to be a true statement, which means this has to be a true statement, which would be a contradiction. So I think it's got to be in the blue box, because this is the only one where if this is false, then the gems are in a box with a true statement. If that's true, that's false. And therefore, that is the only true box. So I'm pretty sure it's in blue. Like, I'm like 80% certain there. Nice. The 100% streak lives on. Okay, we can't do secret garden key in... I don't think we can do secret garden key in here. Yeah, no. Silver key will give you a room with many doors, which is probably ideal in this spot. Yeah, passageway is pretty much perfect, to be honest. Like, we could wait room to lose... do you know what, actually? Wait room to lose half of our steps now, just before we have our packed lunch, and we haven't eaten in the kitchen yet. That might be ideal, and then we get... we will be able to get any of the antechamber doors open. So let's go with that, right? And we will, yeah, let's go with that. So we got 24 steps, but we've got, like, we have scope to get stuff back. Drafting studio, yeah, den. drafting studio if we're fairly confident we can beeline it to the foundation. Having said that, you know, now that given that we've got the security card key, we can re-roll to get. We're pretty much guaranteed to get into antechamber because we can re-roll that one. So let's take Den there. We don't need to get those steps just yet. Furnace, study, chapel. While drafting, you can spend gems to redraw floor plans up to 8 times. Seems reasonable. Does study ever have anything in it that's worth picking up? Ooh, a treasure map. It does. Okay, what is that? Rank 6? Okay, 4, 6. Oh, and of course we have a gem. Of course we have a gem, don't we? Right, that's the study that we can redraw with. Oh, up to 8 times. Yes, of course, of course. Bedroom's probably fine. Ah, lovely. Handy apple. Clock tower, wine cellar, library. I think we'll take the library. Let's use our magnifying glass now at this point. Ah, and a chest to open as well. We are at risk slightly of running out of keys, but should be okay. Let's grab these terms and conditions. So, eligibility. Right, we're kind of got to hold it and gradually take No. Residence family during record. Residence family. The magnifying glass has this really, really realistic spherical aberration to it, which makes it impossible to read what's on the edges of what's written. But we're going to try and get it all together. I'm hoping that there's going to be some interesting information as part of these terms and conditions. Well, let's have a look at it. So, what have I got? Eligibility. The Dead End Contest Sweepstakes is open to legal residents of Fen Ares who are at least 12 years of age at the time of entry, employees of Drafting Strategy, its affiliate subsidiaries, advertising and promotion agencies, and their immediate family members and or those living in the same household of each are not eligible to participate in the sweepstakes. Entry. To enter the sweepstakes, players must draft rooms in a single house during a single day. Any number of rooms may be drafted, but only dead-end rooms drafted during the day will be counted towards the dead-end tally. If the dead-end tally exceeds the current record, 19, participant is considered a winner. The cash prize is an approximate shop value equal to 200 gold, paid out to the winner of sweepstakes in a check equal to the prize amount. The trophy of sweepstakes has an approximate shop value of 30 gold, Please note the trophy is not composed of real gold, but features a gold-like coating for decorative purposes only. The winner will be notified and receive their prize by mail no later than 5 days after obtaining the Dead End record. Check mailroom for prize delivery. Odds. The odds of winning this contest are not very promising. The architect who set this record was very, very good at drafting, but best of luck regardless. Okay. To be honest, I was hoping there was some kind of legal loophole in those rules, but it seems not. So it is strictly exceed, so we need 20 or more. Equaling 19 is not going to do it, which we kind of sort of expected anyway, to be honest. Casino. We will do our daily roll later, after we see how much money we've got left. Aquarium Corridor Chapel. Let's take... Aquarium usually has a dig spot in it. On the other hand, though, Aquarium's a nice tea room. And, Corridor's always left unlocked, though. And what we really want is we want a way to access Secret Garden, right? Oh, Trophy Room Boudoir. That's kind of a tricky one, actually. Would I rather have Trophy Room or Boudoir? I think Boudoir might be better given the number of gems I currently have, and Boudoir's more common, so it kind of takes it out of the drafting pool. Man, I find it hard to believe that in the first iteration of this game, the safes reset every day, so you had to re-enter the code every single day. That is like... that would be like well annoying, to be honest. Do we want passageway so that we link up to Den? It makes our backtrack slightly easier. We have 31 steps. Or would we rather have Chapel because this effectively dead ends it anyway? Do we want an easier backtrack at the cost of using our passageway? I think, yeah, let's just use passageway. I really want something that hooks this way. Security. Security is quite alright. Oh, we don't want to unlock every door, do we, at the moment? Because we need a locked door to be able to use Secret Garden Key. We're going to turn that up to high because we have the key card. And there's nothing else in here. We're hoping for a locked door right here. Shoot. We don't have the sledgehammer. Office is probably better. Go on, spread gold in the estate. I don't think we need to run payroll. Like, maybe we'll run payroll if we end up with, like, some spare money. Oh, we want to stay away from ballroom. 100%. Hey, sledgehammer. Lovely. A coin. Yeah, so in terms of making any progress with a new clue, it's going to be at least a week, right? Because we'll have next like library's common now, so we'll be able to draft library next week, but that'll just be to ask for a new clue again. Yay! Secret Garden Key. Good. And that spreads food in the estate, which is going to significantly... Oh, wow! You can get 2 items out of Secret Garden. That's pretty rare and useful. So now we're going to be like absolutely fine to just be like, yep, 100%, log onto a computer, get to shelter, unlock all doors. Right. Now that we've had the secret garden. And then we don't need to worry about keys. If we find freezer, we'd probably take it. That's like... I'd like to make sure we get to antechamber first before taking freezer. So I think at this stage, maybe we just make a beeline for the antechamber. And then we can use the rest of the rooms that we have available for drafting just to see if we luck out and get the freezer. Because I don't think there's anything else. Like, once we get to antechamber, I don't think there's anything else we particularly need this run. I mean, conservatory, if we can get it, of course. Now, do you know what I'm gonna? Oh no, we have a sledgehammer now, so we don't need to worry about saving keys. Attic, kitchen, storeroom. Go on. I'll see what items attic can give us. So we've got to count these out, right? Coin purse is 1. Gem is 2. Key is 3. Key is 4. That's 5. Gem for 6. Key for 7. Where's the last item? I don't think the chest counts. Ah, there it is. Key for 8. And 2 more keys. Okay. Actually, it's in security, wasn't it? That we were being that we have the treasure map for. Ooh, gallery! Oh, that's a pretty neat option, actually. It cuts us off from being able to get into the antechamber this way, but we know we have the entrance there. We have been working on the gallery puzzles a little bit. Do we want to go back to security and dig a hole? I think maybe we want to go back to security and dig a hole quick. Now that we've spread food, it should be absolutely fine. And we do have... No. Oh, thank you. We are in the correct spot, right? Yeah. It's in here. There we go. Time to start digging. I'm hoping for a lot of money. Then we can go to the casino and we do the big roll. Assuming that the showroom isn't available. Yay! 40 gold. Excellent. Good, 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 good. 3 more steps, that'll be nice. Casino, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually not too far away. We can actually go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and get the +2. It actually works out to be the same amount, doesn't it? Yeah, go on. Let's do the big reroll now. Do the big roll. 100. Ah. Never mind. You get nothing. I should really show my kids Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Yes. Okay, should we go straight up to the gallery? We're passing by security. So, log me into the network. Give me remote terminal access. Give me shelter. And let's unlock all doors now. Looks great. All doors unlocked. Okay, gallery is where we're going. And we got 4 dice, so we're pretty much guaranteed to get into the antechamber there. So, what have I been thinking, right, in the meantime? I'm thinking that this is think. Think. Because it's a thin, it's a thin K. I think. It's a thin K. Oh! Oh, oh, oh! It does something. When you get each... I was a bit nervous that we would have to wait and get all 4 correct before it did anything. So that's good. Right. Each individual painting counts for you. Right. The other one I was thinking was this one, right? Because you've got a giant P. All of this stuff is stuff that's traditionally red. Okay? You got the fire hydrant, the stop sign, the rose, the wagon, and these have been used, like the wagon and the rose. We have some of those in room 46. So all of this is red. Is it a red prince? I've been sort of periodically looking at my spreadsheet, and I've been waiting for several weeks, let's say, because we've not been offered gallery in ages. We've not been offered gallery in a long while. Oh shoot, there isn't an N here. Oh well, okay, it can't be what I thought it was. Ah, no, hang on, wait. I gotta open my spreadsheet up. What? I could have sworn there was an N available in there. Do you remember when we took all of the... Oh. Come on, gallery. Okay. Now I know you can't see my spreadsheet, so I will have to paint a picture with my words. So, what did I write on this one? Oh. No, I was just misspelling prince. Oh, I tell you what, the other one that I wrote down, which also does fit though, is Marion. As in Marion Marigold. But that's not it. It's not Marion. Oh, that's a shame. Right, okay. We've got the thin K. What's... Like, genuinely, though, okay, fine, we've got thin K, but, like, what's with the hand and the chain and the shooting star? Like... Ah, right, okay. So it's not Marion. The other thinking that I was doing was, is it like, it's like a mirror image, but you have the P? And if you mirror the P, it becomes a Q? So is it some kind of palindrome word? But I don't think Q is available. I don't think Q is available. Mirror doesn't fit. Prince doesn't fit. I mean, is it a synonym for red? Like scarlet? But there's no C in the second position. Can't be scarlet. Rouge has the wrong number of letters. It's not going to be maroon. It feels like the fact that it's a mirrored image is important, because look at the stop signs, right? The stop sign on the left is upside down. The stop sign on the right says quatsps, right? If you turn that up the correct way, it's mirrored. It's a mirror image. So the P, when you mirror it, is going to become a Q, but I don't think there's a Q anywhere in... There's not a Q available anywhere in the puzzle. The other two I have not had any further thoughts on, particularly. Like, you've got your actual objective. Very genu. We're looking for a 7-letter word. Like, all of the eyes are... Well, some of the eyes you actually can't see where they're looking, but all of the eyes that you can see are not looking at the actual objective. Is very an Eurasian word? Is very an Eurasian word? I'm just looking at my notes. Is very an Eurasian word, or genu, to be honest. Like, we don't have a huge amount of erosion to compare to. Oh, Ven. No, Ven is not very. Yeah. Water, we said previously, was Lune. Yeah. So Genu is certainly not water. Like, you could argue it's something like abstinence or temperance, but I don't think most of those fit. It's like a distraction, right? Your actual objective. All of the eyes aren't looking at the actual objective. And then on top of a table called Very, you've got a bottle of wine and a wine glass. It's gonna have to be a 7-letter word that most people would know as well, right? It's gotta be like a fairly common word. Not sure. Not sure. And over here, so we've got the 7 deadly sins. We have the number 8 with a load of nails in it. So something like sacrifice doesn't fit. That's 9. Is marigold available? No, there's no D in the final column. I don't know. Like, we've not really seen anything else in this game which is kind of reminiscent of the 7 deadly sins, right? It's kind of notable that the TH here in Wrath and the GL here in Gluttony does it spell anything? WRA. Is WRNA available? I'm just kind of thinking, like, with my puzzle design hat on, like, is it something to do with you need to put together what the missing letters, the letters behind the pillars are? But it's not. I don't think there's a W available in the whole... There isn't a W available in the whole thing. Here's the thing. We've got one of them done. So this kind of needs to clue us into what this is expecting, right? It's kind of like a catchphrase thing where it's sort of like a say what you see. Except the thin K is really just that bit of it, and the rest of it is like totally irrelevant to the rest of it's like totally irrelevant to the actual title of the piece. This one feels like the closest one that we have, because identifying that all these things are red, that it's mirrored, it's a mirrored red. I'm pretty sure mirror is not available. No. No, there's no R in that slot. There's no R in that slot. If we wanted a word which was mirrored, what letters are common between the third and the fourth spot? We've got VV. I don't think I know any words that have double V in the middle of them. TT and II, or is it IL? Yes, we can get II. The only word I know that has double I in the middle of it is skiing. I can't think of any other words which have II. So if we said it was TT... Mitten. What words can we make that are TT in the middle? Well, we then have AA, OO, EE. Okay, what letters are shared between the first space and the last space? So, not B, not C. Do you know what? We do have a P, which is... But it could flip, couldn't it, into like a D or maybe a G if you squint really hard. There is also there is T shared each time. Tethered, totod. S no, M no, W. W A. Hang on. what would that even make? If you went TT, you could have WW. Wattow, Wettow, Wattle. Don't think that's going to work. And we do have TT, so that could be like tatet, tetet, tot. So no, I don't think it's that. But if it was TT in the middle, and you had a P on this side, and you had a, let's say a D on this side, it could be petted. It could be petted. No. Patad, pottled. Everything's a capital as well, so like the P and the D don't actually look rotated to each other. In this whole picture, there is only one P, and it's right at the start. It's that P. Or maybe the word red is part of the word. Do we have any R's in here? We have an R available in the second slot. And an R available in the fifth slot. Well, you can't make red there. But we don't have... Oh no, we do have R available in the third slot. But we don't have an E available in the third or fourth. So we can't literally make the word red as part of the word. I don't know. Like... Are there any clues for the gallery beyond, like, looking at the picture and just, like, guessing at it? Like, are there any clues elsewhere? Because, I mean, we're a lot of days in now, and we've not seen any room that even references the existence of the gallery, right? Like... We've found instructions that, like, reference the dartboard puzzle. Like, we found several letters that reference the dartboard puzzle, right? Like, there was a letter to Sinclair that said, like, oh, yeah, no, I was really pleased that you don't have to, like, know, like, maths to be able to do this. Or, no, you don't need to know the rules of darts to be able to do this. But, yeah, like, we've not found anything that even references the gallery's existence. I don't know. We might just have to leave it at 1 for today, and I'll have to think more. Maybe there's a clue in Red Prince. Or maybe it's, you know, maybe it's just something... Maybe it's something, like, really just totally out there, like throne. Does throne fit? No, it doesn't. There's no O in the 4th slot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. To be honest. I think maybe we just kind of have to trust the process and something will present itself, and in the meantime I just got to think about it more. We do want to get into room 46 though, so we are going to redraft. Ugh. How many of these do we have? We might only have... Oh, I don't know if laboratory even counts. Man, come on, no, redraft again. What is this game doing? Come on. Mate. Redraft again. Vestibule. Fine. Like, what? How long to get a J or a T pointing upwards, you know? All doors are unlocked. I would assume that counts for the vestibule as well. Is there any point going in and claiming our token now? No, we're going to end our run in there later, so I guess we might as well continue the draft this way. Classroom. Actually, I tell you what we are going to do. We're going to go. We are going to go down the foundation. Have a little dig in case we find a turnip, of course. But we will go down the foundation, and we're going to go eat in the dining room, because that's right by the entrance hall. We don't have a huge number of steps left, but that's fine. I'm not sure there's anything else we particularly want to do in today's episode, except if we draft the freezer, we might as well take it, because we have a decent number of gems in our inventory. And, you know, if we get the clock tower, we might as well take it, because that will give us at least one key. There's also the possibility that we find mail room, which can give us a no-contact delivery for tomorrow. So there's, you know, there's definitely reasons to finish the draft off, even if it's just to set things up for a future run. I think we do have an aquarium, don't we? So that's great. Do we not have an aquarium? Oh, no, we turned aquarium down. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I mean, we still get like plenty of extra steps there. This shortcut around the chess puzzle, I'm still quite perplexed by. Why we would need to have that open. My only theory on that at the moment is, like, it does give you an alternative way to get into the basement area. Or rather, it gives you an alternative way to get to the chess puzzle if you don't have all 4 of the gas taps lit. But you have got bigger problems if you haven't done that, I think, because, like, if you don't have the gas taps lit, then you've either missed the orchard, which is, like, that's quite early, I think, taking the magnifying glass into the dark room. 2 of the gas taps are literally just outdoor rooms. I mean, I suppose maybe, you know, you haven't powered the garage, and I mean, it's totally possible to miss it, I guess. A dead-end room in here would be fine. Mechanarium, given that I've got dead ends on all the other sides of the room, I think I might actually get some interesting stuff in here. One of these is a lever, of course, which has already been pulled. Ah. Totally useless for us right now, because, of course, we... Yeah, totally useless for us right now, because all of our doors are unlocked. So we're not going to get a chance to use that. Pool, darkroom, coat check. Darkroom keeps the draft going. We do also obviously have den that we can backtrack to. Pool adds sauna, and sauna is arguably good for us. Like, sauna would be a good time room to pull. But yeah, if we get clock tower, sauna, freezer, mail room, those are all really good things to pull. 26 steps. We can go back to Den at this stage. Right, there's a gem on the table here. Yeah, showroom. Chance for a moon pendant, potentially. Ooh, chronograph. You are more likely to draft tomorrow rooms while drafting. Yeah, we'll take that. No chance for a moon pendant, so I don't think there's really very much point taking the rest of these. But yeah, I mean, we've only got 41 gold left. So, all good. Clock tower I'm pretty happy to take there. And it's certainly worth climbing to the top of the clock tower and having a look. We'll have a look. Oh yeah, we'll have a look. Have you got anything for us? Ah, we've got a stopwatch. I'm not sure if that's going to do very much for us right there. There's room 46, you can see it. I'm not sure in 60 seconds we're even going to be able to, so we've got to get back up here, pull through the foundation to the classroom. There's only one draftable node left now anyway. So yeah, we're more likely to draft tomorrow rooms if we get offered. I think if we get offered any of them, we'll probably take it. Freezer, sauna. We don't actually need to rush this, of course, because all the doors are unlocked anyway, and we have plenty of gems. But yeah, freezer, sauna, mail room. I think we'd probably be we'll probably be fine for any of those. We've still got 21 steps. We'll take an apple. Sauna is certainly weaker than mailroom or sauna is certainly weaker than mailroom. I think we take aquarium. Because aquarium gives us another dig spot. I think I'd rather shoot for freezer. Conservatory's nice. Conservatory's nice. Take an apple. Okay, what are we getting as our options? West Wing Hall is standard. West Wing Hall always gives you 2 draft points, okay? Because you can only draft it on the wing. I think West Wing Hall becoming common, I would be very happy with. Vestibule, that becoming common, I think would be very strong for us as well. Because the locked door in vestibule really doesn't create too much of a problem, right? Indoor nursery is pretty rubbish. It's been upgraded badly. It's been upgraded badly. I really wish there was a way. This I think would actually be one of my criticisms of the game, is that you are in a roguelike, you need to be given the confidence to experiment, right? Like, when you play Hades, you'll play like a really unusual build, and then that's kind of fine because it doesn't really matter in the future. But like, you would have to be, if you're taking an upgrade like the Cloister of Draxus, you would have to be like super confident on what you're doing to be able to accept that downside, because those upgrades are permanent and there's no way to undo them. And like, even though Hades, for example, like nothing really carries over between runs and whatever, and all of your upgrades are generally positive, it still has the magic mirror, which lets you respec everything whenever you want. And it's like, I really wish there was a way that you could go to the computer and be like, nah, do you know what? I'm not actually happy with that upgrade. I want to pick a different upgrade. Go back. Like, this room should just count as an upgraded room. I should have some kind. I mean, maybe there is, and we're going to unlock it later. But to be fair, we're like 100 hours into this game or something. Like, there should be a way for me to say, oh no, actually that upgrade was like a really bad idea. I want to respec that for one of the other upgrades. Just give me the extra steps. Just give me the extra steps. Because even base nursery is something like, whenever you draft a bedroom, gain 10 extra steps or something. It's really good. It's a really strong room, and like, we've been really hurting not having it. Anyway, I think I'll make it unusual because I will want it to appear when it comes to doing the dead end rooms one day. But to be honest, I basically never really want it to appear aside from that. So I'm not going to make it rare, but I will make it unusual. Okay, cool. That's a good set of upgrades, though. Like, that's a good set of rare redrafts. Being able to change all three, or being happy to change all three. Pretty cool with that. Let's pick mailroom. Get us a good draft for tomorrow. Now, one thing that was mentioned to me this was a long time ago. We've just never had the magnifying glass up until now. Is something about making sure that we check out the stamps on these letters. Now, I'm assuming... Oh, in fog we are lost, in fire we are found. Oh, I see, and you can't read that. So it tells you that it's foggy. Oh. See, now I'm assuming this is sigil related, isn't it? Now, we already have this sigil. So maybe this is where we're supposed to have got like some of our clues for nuance or whatnot. But yeah. Oh, Arch Ares we don't have. Arch Ares is the one we don't have, isn't it? Oh, so that is going to be useful. Now we know Arch Ares is stormy. But a giant smoking chimney, do you think that means they're industrial? Okay, because I don't think... We might not have tried that one. Oh, we can't look at the stamp on that one. Ha ha ha. Vera Shores. Giant turtles, mate. Just made... Strung them together with hair from the back. That's what... Oh, Morachai. That's nice. Man, I tell you what, Randolph Moore, he is traveling the world on his... he's traveling the world on his lab assistant pension or whatever, isn't it? That is, of course, Iraja. Iraja Array. Et Aries Yenna. That's like East Aries. Yenna. We've seen Yenna before, haven't we? Sinclair wrote Yenna. Lorja Yenna. Ajlor Lune. I guess it must mean land, I suppose. Et Aries Jena. East Aries land. Oh, the eastern region. Okay. I'm going to just quickly I'm just making a little written note. Et Aries Jena, the eastern region. This is, this is like one of those limitations of the magnifying glass, right? Because even if I jam this magnifying glass, you can't get the whole stamp into the magnifying glass. Oh, do you know what? It actually says something else there as well. Hugh Ven Nevhugh. What does that mean? Like, this is kind of useful for getting a couple of extra Eurasian words, isn't it? But okay. So that was that one. Yeah, there's my nuance. Like, we'll take pictures of all of these, but having said that, I wonder if we should reread these letters, because there is Morajai, the White Sea of Yore. Morajai, the White Sea of Yore. And then we've got Orinda Aries. That must be a pretty old stamp. Unused memos. Safe code D8. There is a safe on rank 10. Yeah, we've had that stamp before. Oh yeah, and then this one's going to be our snowy Koraricha. There we go. Is that all the stamps? I guess so. Well, so maybe we should go. I mean, we do sort of probably have the steps for it to get down to room 46 lever is like a 6-step round trip, so we could do that and try out industrial for archeries. Together we weather. Oh, and it says in commemoration of the opening of 5th zone power plant, the Contessa. I wonder if I wonder if we should be looking through these letters again. Do you know what? We've never powered up the laundry room. Yeah. We've done pump room, obviously. We've done lab. We've done garage. We've never powered up the laundry room. This is odd, because this one doesn't really have a hint, does it? Nothing ever deterred him from that level of supervision in the past after working alongside for after a decade. Found the level of help I've offered well within the acceptable range. I haven't spoken too much about him since his departure. Of all the laboratories I've worked in, Mount Holly was a gem. Something rather curious happened. A lab assistant was called by Miss Babbage, the house manager, to remove several floor plans from Sinclair's drafting studio. Typically, all of the unused floor plans are kept there, and I've never heard of them being moved to another location, nor would I presume to guess the reason for such an action. I'm not sure which floor plans were removed or where they were moved to, save one, which I was instructed to remove myself. Assuming it was not moved again after I've hit it, you should find it in the observatory. Yeah, okay, fine, we've got that. Kirk Darren, installed after the unfortunate incident 2 years ago. Past the antechamber of seals. In my own experience, I've found every other member of the staff to be extremely trustworthy. Yes. We know about that. DC power, utility closet. We know about this one. If all 6 lights are green, pressing any of them will make them blue. Locations of the drafting strategy guides. There's Bridget de Camp, Hartley Rota, Christoph the chauffeur, Robert Nogula. A new clue, how it fiendishly she hid the clues for her readers within its pages. Don't worry, I won't be hiding any clues for you in imagery or requiring you to comb through the text with a magnifying glass. Oh, it does say comb through the text with a magnifying glass. The truth is, I'm not nearly as clever as creative as she was. The best I could muster trying to be cryptic and mysterious was break the bricks in the weight room with something with a handle that's heavy. Very funny. Unused memos, we just looked at that one. Yeah, we've got access to that now. This door can only be opened if 3 microchips are inserted. Normally, all 3 microchips are secured in 3 other locations, but I decided to make it easy for you and left one of the microchips in the grotto for ready access. You will have to find a new clue or 2 to find the others. So the other one is in a new clue. Right, so the other microchip must be that other clue in a new clue then. And then, yeah, okay. I think that's going to be it then. Right, so we're done with the drafting. Yes. Oh no, we can draft this room still. So let's see, 22 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 round trip to there. Yeah, go on. Should be absolutely fine. Should be absolutely fine. Give me that. We'll draft it. Oh, freezer! Oh, perfect. So this gives us an extra key from the clock tower. And it gives us 6 gems to start tomorrow with. We don't have anything else that we want to... We don't have anything else that we want to spend money on this run. So that's great. And we have enough steps to be able to round trip this. So why don't we have a go at opening up Arch Aries? Let's have a go at opening up Arch Aries and see. So it's thunder. We know it's colour. Yeah, it's thunder, we know it's colour, and it's a giant power station, so let's go with industrial. Like, this is one of the things that I was discussing on the Discord, is that there are clues which obviously say, when it comes to nuance, there are clues which obviously say, oh yeah, nuance helped Fen Ares in the war. But I wouldn't have thought that that would necessarily mean that the culture is militaristic, because the culture could be industrial or academic, and they happened to help in the war. Do you know what I mean? There's Arch Aries. Now, I am going to need to remind myself what the colour of that one needs to be. So Arch Aries, we've got, it's yellow, it's yellow, stormy, right, yellow is the zigzags, it's stormy, we don't know what its roots are, and it's industrial. So industrial is the little square. So let's go industrial. That's stormy. Okay. 8 routes is sea travel, right? But let's just work through these combinations. So this would be roads. I thought it was going to be horses, but if they've got like massive power plants, probably not. No, sorry. No, that is horses, isn't it? Oh, no, I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button, chat. No, go back to being stormy. Okay. That's horses. And that's not it. That's railway. Now, we did see in a book something about, oh yeah, we've got railways all the way from here to here. And Iraja certainly is still railway, but Fen Ares certainly busted all their railways up. Arch Aries apparently did not. Okay. So that is the 7th sigil found. Is that enough information to be able to actually solve the puzzle in room 46? We've only got 13 steps, so we do have to be a little careful. Arch Aries was the very first realm to introduce the new colour to the traditional monochromatic tiles of the box. Given the number of ship routes and trade relationships between the two realms, this is not surprising. Fittingly, the variation itself was based on the brass compasses manufactured in archeries that were often traded to sailors in exchange for the valued Morajai puzzle boxes. When yellow tiles are pressed, they move north. So, what do we need to do? We need to move you off the bottom row. Yes. And you're going to need to move north. So that we swap you round. And you can move north as well. Swap you back. Because then we get you two on the bottom row. Now you come up here. You go to the top row. And move like that. Ah, but yeah, there's our problem. So what we're going to need to do... Swap you down there. There we go. We're getting pretty quick at doing those, aren't we? Okay. Now, where have I been putting these postcards? Here we go. Renebaum, Arch Aries, First City of Steel. We arrived here after a few days of sailing, and it made me realise how much more convenient it would have been in the old days when the railway tracks extended all the way north. Arch Aries is a destination with which I am well acquainted, having travelled here countless times on business for Cinca. This time, however, I will avoid the familiar towns and factories and will instead trek along the northern coast, an area with which I am wholly unfamiliar. Herbert. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very few clues in that. We arrived after a few days of sailing. So it could be after Iraja, right? Goodbye land, hello water. Like, is there anything on these postmarks which would indicate the date? That would be possibly too easy, right? Possibly would be too easy. This is after Koraricha, unknown if before or after Iraja. I think Koraricha must be afterwards, and Morajai was earlier than this. We arrived here after a few days of sailing. It made me realise how much more convenient it would have been in the old days when the railway tracks extended all the way north. That makes me think he's either going to hear from Iraja or from Orindia. I've departed, forsaking both map and plan, and as it happens the road has taken me south. It seems fitting to begin the journey by visiting a fragment of the Old Kingdom, a landmark as black in realm as it is in name, and I feel so connected to it. So he's travelling south and he's going by carriage. So I think Iraja has to be second. And I feel like he says, goodbye land, hello water. This has got to be next, right? And then that's after Koraricha. I think we might have a really good guess as to the order there then, because we know that Morajai is earlier. We know that Morajai has a lot of connections with Arch Ares, so he's going down to Iraja, back up to Arch Ares, then across to Morajai. Yeah, then he's going and visiting the turtles. Then Snowy Kororicha, over to Nuance, and then back to Fen Ares, which is also It is also a trip that somewhat makes sense. I might have left you on the wrong screen whilst we were discussing that, sorry. So I think that, yeah, maybe a pretty good guess would be Orindia, Iraja, Arch Ares, Morajai, Turtle Land, Kororicha, Nuance, Fen Ares. If we can get into room 46, like we want to end at the antechamber. We've got the steps. We've got the steps. Oh hey, I've only just noticed if you leave the basement key, you can see the basement key still. Huh. Huh, how funny. Right. Because this king on his throne clue, like, who knows? Who knows how far that's going to be? Like, where we're going to get that? And why is there a gate here? Like, there's so much of this which still doesn't make any sense. I'm not going back in there. We don't have the steps. We don't have the steps to be messing about. Come on. We'll try and put some thumbtacks on a map. And see if we get something there. We could also try a couple of different combinations as well, right? Because we know we do have some strict orderings. If we know that Orindia's first and Fen Ares is last, then we know that there is actually only 6 degrees of freedom anyway. Okay, 10 steps left. Plenty. Absolutely plenty. Not worth picking up the crown, of course, but yeah. So if I go and stick 1 in there and 8 in there, and we say that 2 is Iraja, and 3 is Arch Ares, 4 Morajai, 5 Turtle Land, 6 Kororicha, 7 Nuance. Hey! We did get it right! Nice, nice, nice. Huh. Is that the same deed that we saw in the other room, 46? Certified copy, property deed, Lord Arthur Clementine to Lady Orave of Trinsdale. Known by all men these presents that Lord Arthur Clementine, rightful owner of the land that rests in the northern range of Reddington Mountains, doth grant and convey to the bearer of this document, Lady Orave of Trinsdale. Hang on, let me go and... Lord Arthur Clementine, rightful owner, Orave of This looks very much like the exact same document. So why is this document important enough that it's in a safe? Well, sorry, I mean, it's a deed to a house. Of course it's important, but yeah. Why is it the solution to a puzzle, more like? The land, forest and waters of the sheer cliffs that rest in the northern shadow of the Hollyleaf Mountain, with all the rights, privileges and appurtenances thereunto belonging. Boundaries. The property of Mount Holly consists of dense woods, flanked by cliff walls, Irrigated by mountain spring streams and punctuated by several runoff waterfalls, this area is sheltered between the summit's northern slope and saddle, spanning across 80-odd acres of land. The property is situated southwest of Reddington, bounded by the south by steep crags and abutting the east by the high road to Tanner Fork. Covenants. I, Lord Arthur Clementine, covenant, promise and agree with Lady Orave, her heirs and assigns that I am lawfully seized and possessed of the said premises, that the same are free and clear of all encumbrances, that I have good right to sell and convey the same to the said Lady Orave, her heirs and assigns, and that I will warrant and defend the same against all lawful claims and demands whatsoever. In hand and seal, I make my mark in the grand year of Fenarese, 1912. Lord Arthur Clementine. I think this is literally the same document. Which means it must be important, because why would the game give you two different ways to find this document? Right? The Last Will and Testament of me, Herbert S. Sinclair. I, Herbert S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly Estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me. I declare that I am not and have never been married and have no children. First, I direct that all my debts and outstanding expenses be paid as soon as after my decease as possible. Secondly, I direct all the servants and staff in my employ at the time of my death shall be granted indefinite leave to be paid out of the reserves of my estate set aside for such occasion until such a time as a new master of Mount Holly bids their return. In the event that the aforesaid reserves for this purpose are depleted before a new master of the estate is found, I direct my executor to make provisions for their future employment, and to do so in a manner that is just and equitable to all parties involved. So, it's not that Simon's just some weird prepper who enjoys living in a tent, it's that the will says that all the servants get paid for as long as they're not recalled back. So, genuinely, Simon is just, Simon's just making sure everyone's holiday is nice and long. Thirdly, to my faithful valet, Hartley Roeta, I hereby gift to him the lake house in Trinsdale as a small measure of gratitude from the many years of unwavering loyalty and devoted service. I direct that my executor take such steps as are necessary to transfer ownership of the said lake house to Hartley Roeta, and should use all reasonable efforts to persuade him to accept the same. Furthermore, to my late cousin Tillin's 2 children, Courtney Ferrine and Rygard Ferrine, who have sometimes been impulsive and hasty in their actions, I grant to each a cuckoo clock set eternally on the sacred hour, for only time will tell when they are ready to slow down enough to appreciate the gifts bestowed upon them with the patience and wisdom that comes with maturity. And that right there has contest the will written all over it. You can't be giving away stuff to people and then say, oh, and you get a clock. A clock that doesn't work, incidentally, a clock that doesn't work. That is 100% opening this will up to contest. In the case that Lionel Epson should return from his travels abroad, or in the event that any of his heirs should present themselves, I bequeath to him or them, as the case may be, the diary and its related key, which formerly belonged to his sister Clara Epson, which I have kept in her room and beside her grave respectively. I'm going to write that down immediately. Clara's diary key is by her grave. In the tomb? Must be in the tomb, right? Where else would she be? In addition to my fervent desire that the gallery, along with the artwork contained within, be bestowed upon the Reddington Museum of Art, including the sculptures, exhibits, and the entire collection of drawings by Christopher Manson, comprised of 4 pieces, entitled T, P, R, and R. Think, prink, rink, and wink. This generous donation shall be made 1 year hence, following the date of my earthly departure, when it shall be removed from Mount Holly's draft pool. So hang on, wait. If we get to 365, if we get to day 365, does the gallery disappear? Moreover, to the Grand Cathedral of Iraja, I bequeath 8 stone statues sculpted in the likeness of the 8 Ajeran angels: Arinda, Lydia, Raina, Joya, Dowager, Vea, Mila, and Draxus. These sculpted figures have been in the Sinclair tomb for multiple generations, and even though there has been much debate over their natural numeric order, they have nevertheless remained steadfast in their safeguarding of our family secrets. I trust they will continue to provide the Cathedral of Iraja that same level of stewardship. There is debate over their natural numeric order. So there's a second code, which is not from the cathedral. I give and bequeath to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece, Mary Matthew, all the rest residual and remainder of my estate, and of my right title and interest in and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly, as a token of the cordial and affectionate friendship for nearly half a century his grandmother Clara Epson has shown me. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned nephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate of Mount Holly. This room, among other things of value, holds the physical deed to the entire estate, as well as many other personal effects and policies of insurance. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executives of my will, then this gift shall lapse, and the above clauses on this page and provisions pertaining to that clause shall be considered null and void, and the rest of my estate shall be disposed of and gifted to the Orindian Heritage Foundation, under condition that the house be immediately winnowed and sealed with explicit instruction and allowances that the site shall not be reopened until black flags are once again flying over Oris, or 110 years have passed since my death, whichever day shall come first. As one final gift to my grandnephew Simon P. Jones, regardless of whether he finds room 46 or not, I leave and bequeath to him the original manuscripts of his mother's works that were produced here under the roof of her childhood home. These preliminary draft copies include Red Prince, which she wrote whilst visiting the estate during the brightest of her days, and a new clue which she penned here during the darkest. I hope that in due time and in the natural order of things, you will come to be content as I have with what little of herself she left us. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March 1993, Herbert S. Sinclair. But wait, where are those manuscripts then? They're not in here. Okay. We're going to take some pictures of these. So, what do we got here? We got this bit here, I don't think is relevant to us, because I think all this talks about is the sacred hour, which we know is 1:30. We've got Clara Epson's grave. We'll look for that in the tomb. We've got a bit of a hint for the gallery clue. Like at least the first letter that each of these is going to start with. And we're going to do some maths to work out if we even have the steps to be able to get there or not. Is there a second code for these? Is this the order, right? Has he given us the order? Arinda, Lydia, Raina, Joya, Dowager, Vea, Mila, Draxus. Is that the order, which is like a second code that does something? That's also the tomb. And then this last bit... Okay, preliminary draft copies. Now he says, as one final gift to my grandnephew, regardless of whether he finds room 46 or not, that implies that they are not in room 46, they're somewhere else. I leave and bequeath to him the original manuscripts of his mother's works that were produced here, under the roof of her childhood home. These preliminary draft copies include red prints and a new clue. I hope that in due time, and then in bold, the natural order of things, you will come to be content as I have with what little of herself she left us. So what, the natural order of things? Like, what does that mean? You know? I don't think there's anything else here. Okay. So I don't think... the manuscripts are going to be in room 46 itself. Yeah, look, little red wagons. We've got 7 steps. 1, 2, 3. We could go to the gallery and have a look. We could go to the gallery still and make it back to the antechamber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have 7 steps. So we could do it. We could do it. I know you guys still can't see my thing. Let me see if I can get you to see my spreadsheet. Hang on. It's a little bit rough and ready, but we shouldn't need it for too long. So hopefully you can see all that. Right, so we got thin K. We got that already. Now, what did he say they were? It was T, P, R, and R. And look, if we look at the sizes of these, that's a long one. That's quite short. That's quite short, but those are sort of similar length. So coming back here then, that's the really long one. R is available and P is not available. So 100%. Right, that is locked in. That is locked in. Right, no fill on you. Let's get rid of all of this. So that one starts with R. One of these two starts with P and the other one starts with R. Well, this one's the only one that can start with P. Right, so this must start with P. And so this one must start with R. Yep, and R is available here. Does that help me? So we've got a 6-letter word. These are all red. It can't be prince because there's no N in the 4th position. This is, of course, on the presumption that I can't use the magnifying glass. Oh no, this redacting ink is too good. I can't actually see through it even with the magnifying glass. So it starts with P. And it's a set of 4. I'm not sure if we're going to get, like, further knowing the first letter. Like, this might be something that we really have to just, like, let brew. But it's definitely good to get the nudge, right? You got an ED, you got a TH that can go together. You got another TH here, you could have THED. I don't know. Yeah, I'm still just not, like, being struck with the inspiration. Like, it feels like this one should be the easiest one to get. The Reddington Museum of Art, including the sculptures, exhibits, and the entire collection of the drawings by Christopher Manson. This generous donation shall be made 1 year hence following the date of my earthly departure, when it will be removed from Mount Holly's draft pool. What is the relevance of the red, the mirror, we can't make the word red in here. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I think... Okay. We got the first one on each one. Right, we got something that we can go for with the tomb. He's given us some stuff. opening up the 8th sanctum is now kind of not actually going to give us anything, of course, right? So that's the trade-off we've made there. But it does take pressure off needing to get that throne. Like, you know, the king on his throne. Because it means that that is almost certainly now what is effectively like a dead-end clue, right? Assuming it is something like the black chess pieces, right? Needing the black king, we'll do it, and then we won't actually like unlock anything from it because we've skipped it. Okay. I think that might be it then. I think that might be it. We'll be going and having a look in the tomb next time tomb becomes available. But for now, I think we're just going to end today's episode. Because I don't think I have a good guess for the gallery. I don't think I have a good guess for the gallery. So, as discussed, we're going to end today's episode inside the antechamber, and we're going to see if that does anything. If it does appear to do something, then I guess tomorrow we're trying to get back to the antechamber, and I don't know, we'll see. Because you never draft the antechamber, I'm not sure if this is going to do anything, but then you don't draft room 46 either, and we were able to take that outside, so let's see what happens. Entrance hall's the one I'm really convinced is just not going to do anything. I don't know, I mean, maybe it will. Okay. I think we're going to call it a day there. What an episode. I have no idea how long this is going to end up being running for. This is going to be over a 2-hour episode though. 100%. I don't think there's anything else we want to do with the magnifying glass whilst we have it. So I think with that, we're going to be calling it a day, using our blessing of the monk. We've got copies of that will. So I think we're all right. We've read the terms and conditions of the library book, the drafting strategy. So next time we draft library, we'll ask for new clue again. I think we're in a pretty good spot there. So we're going to call it. And this is the point where you can all yell at your screen and go, "Oh my god, no! No, you could have solved the gallery right there. You had it. You said the word. I probably didn't. This has been Mount Holly, the Garden Shopping Centre of tomorrow. 4 tomorrow rooms means we're going to start tomorrow with 4 keys. And because of the freezer, we're going to have a huge amount of money, huge amount of gems. So if something does happen with the antechamber, getting back to the antechamber should be fairly easy to do. Thank you, my friends, for watching this video. This has been day 61 of Blueprince. If you enjoyed this video and you're enjoying this series, do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you cannot wait for the next episode, consider supporting the channel on the Patreon. Patreon members get access to these episodes a week early. I will see you next time. Bye for now.